morning everyone from Kyiv, Ukraine. Welcome back to NAFO Convoy 27. This time the largest ever convoy we've done once again. 20 pickup trucks, ambulances behind, and FPVs from Wild Hornets are going to be handed out to units today because of your donations. So let's find out what's been happening across the front line.
Slava Ukraini!
Heroyam Slava!
Slava nacії!
Смерть ворогам!
Путін!
Ура!
So hello everyone, I'm joined by call sign blogger Alex. Good to meet you.
Also,
You can just tell everyone what unit you're from and what you're doing in the war.
hey everybody, I'm from 79 Air Assault Brigade, from Attack Drone Force. We call it Perun Group, Perun Kills. And we are destroying Russians.
So today we've bought you quite a few new toys, right? So tell us a little bit about how your unit works with something like this. It's an FPV drone, Wild Hornet, so Ukrainian made and manufactured. What will you be doing with these and how does it work?
Okay, guys, just take a look at this. You know, a few years ago it was just like a toy, just like for a hobby. But today it's a modern weapon. And you know, we can destroy tank, we can destroy a combat vehicle just with this little bird. So we are living in a new time. This is a modern war time. Thank everybody who helped us to collect these beautiful drones. You know, maybe you just can imagine sometimes how many they can do.
And when you're using one of these, you use it in combination with other drones?
Yes, of course. We have drones like this. We have drones like planes. Also, we're using them sometimes for searching missiles, but mostly for destroying.
And we got you a truck as well.
Yeah.
And you can see it's got jammers. So there's two different jammers here that will jam two different frequencies that FPVs operate on. Are these important as well? Are you seeing the Russians using them a lot? Tell people a bit about that.
Yes, of course. Specific of modern war, there are so many drones in the front line. So we need to move in the front line. We need car for that. But car without this is nothing, because this little bird can destroy it in 1 second. And I want to say that about frequencies, you said, Russians, they are not dumb, you know. They are always changing frequencies with these drones, which flying these drones. So we always need to modern new systems, anti-drone systems. So, and we have it here. Thank you.
You've got maybe 30, 35 of these here. Like, how many drones will your Perun group get through? Like, can you give anyone an idea? If you could have like 30, 200 a week.
On a day?
Many? Yeah, on a day, on a week. Like, give people an idea.
Now we are using something like 20 drones on a day. Russians using in the same time, in the same area, 70 drones on a day. So we will never have enough of them, never. And you know, first of all, we need them to protect our infantry, because we are nothing without infantry. That guy's going into hell, you know, into front line just with the rifles. We are sitting in a few kilometers from a front line. Yes, we are protected, not too much, but protected. And we need them to protect our infantry. So we'll never have them enough, because there are so many missiles, so many targets in the front line. And sometimes we just waiting, because we not have enough of them. We're just watching how Russians walk, how tanks just ride in. So we need more.
Can you tell the brigade, you've brought a flag along, it's been signed. Is this from the people within your unit here?
Yeah, of course. There's guys from my force right down here. Warm words for everybody who help us, guys. And you know, I want to say that it's very important for us. We want to thank everybody. I haven't enough of words, you know, to say how we appreciate that. Because it's not a secret. Maybe 1 year ago, no, half a year ago, all drones that we have like this, that was from volunteers. Everything we have, that was from volunteers, that was from you. So really, thank you. It's really cool. Thanks.
And your call sign, blogger.
Yeah.
Well, what's that about then? You obviously do blogging, is that right?
Yeah, of course. I have a blog, but I didn't give that name for me.
Right, okay, so
no.
What do you blog about?
About war.
About war, yeah.
But also, you know, I'm an actor in the past. Before war, I was an actor. So there is also poems.
Amazing. Brilliant. So maybe like when this video comes out, is that something people can look online? Are you still
yes,
doing
of
it?
course.
Yeah, so.
It's name Spravzhny Sokolenko.
Well, Alex, we've got, I think, what you need. So you've got your Wild Hornets, your NAFO 2.0 truck, your drone jammers. You've even got, you've got a bit of everything
sweets.
here. We've got chocolate, we've got sweets, you've got beef casserole noodles. I mean,
Whoa.
wow. I mean, like, we can get rid of this. Like, there you go. Like, you know, that's what you needed. Trench candles, which I'm sure for some of the assault and infantry guys would be super useful as well. What I'd like to do on behalf of the Sniffing Brigade is present you with our patch.
Oh, thank you. And I also have something for you, man.
Thank
That's
you.
for you.
There you go, mate. I'll put it on you. Here we go. There we go. Thank you, mate. For
Thank you. Thanks you, guys. And thanks everybody who supports, who will help Ukraine. Guys, take a look at this wonderful car. And I want to thank WarTranslated describers, WarTranslated for this car. Guys, we will use it right in the front line, and it will help us to kill and destroy Russians. So, thank you for your help and for your support. Slava Ukraini!
Nice to meet you. To meet you.
Good afternoon. We are from the 14th Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after Roman the Great, a unit of the 3rd Mortar Battery, UAV Strike Group. My name is Victor. I'm a junior sergeant in the brigade. This is Andriy, our drone pilot.
Are they using in a combat mission and mortars and FPV combined? Like, can they explain a little bit about how that all works?
We serve in a mortar battery, but we are counted as a separate UAV strike group. 24 men. All of us are drone pilots. Our main task is to destroy the enemy and their equipment. That is, mortars are our cover in the first place. And we work only with drones, such as FPV, DJI Mavic, OTEL on the front line. Drones give good and effective results, and we realized that we need to work in this direction so that we could save our personnel, our equipment, and ammunition. So we chose this path for ourselves. We defend a mortar battery, and this is the unit we have.
So in there we use perhaps a combination like FPV, like you see over your shoulder. What other types of drones are they using, other than just those?
Yes, we use FPV drones to destroy enemy vehicles and infantry. We also use DJI systems in our work, destroying enemy dugouts and hideouts. Sometimes we even manage to pierce enemy vehicles with drones. We also use large aggro drones that carry heavy mines. We use these mines with a mortar. Working with such a drone is actually quite effective, with a higher accuracy of projectile hit. It is much better than hitting a target with a mortar. We also use the auto system, which has improved better now. because before that, the second version of EVO had a lot of problems. But the EVO 4 version is now very good in operation.
And the truck. So truck's important as well, and the jammers. I assume that they're facing Russians with a lot of FPVs as well. Can he explain a little bit about, do the Russians have a lot of FPVs that they get attacked with?
Yes, let me tell you about it. The car is cool, thank you all, and the jumpers are as well. The enemy on the other side is using FPV drones a little bit more effectively than we are, because they switched to it earlier. The opponent has created a mass production chain of such military drones, and their production is constantly evolving. The government spends a lot of money, so they have more drones. Along with drones, the production of jammers was developing in parallel. I mean, the enemy has powerful jammer systems and jammer troops, and we should not underestimate the enemy. We are just starting, in fact, and for us, the story with the jammers is just the beginning. We cannot yet cover all the enemy's frequencies. We cannot cover the entire range. That's why we have a situation at the front line, where when a truck with supplies, medicine, or just food arrives, we cannot be sure that it will not be hit. There are no guarantees. That's why the jammers are very good, but we still have some work to do.
We've got one other gift as well, I think, for him, like ants.
We come from a company called Bisly, and our Ukrainian colleague as well was programming here. So, and we did fundraising in Bisly to raise funds for money for the drone, right? Thanks guys, for the good job. Thank you.
Yeah. And finally as well, this truck has been fundraised by this man here, which is Rick the Ukrainian, who's an amazing fundraiser that's done a number of them for us now. Thank you very much, Rick. You're an amazing guy. And
it's an honor for me. Thank you guys for your service, and I really appreciate what you do. And I'm gonna do another interview with you backstage.
Yeah. So thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Alex.
And what I'm going to do finally is present you with our Sniffing Brigade patch.
A special place.
Cheers, mate.
This is our flying unit, the strike UAVs. This is for you.
Все, дякую.
Дякую. Дякую.
Хочемо велику вдячність сказати рік за Ukraine, а NAFO Convoy, а саме за цю класну машину, рік ролери. Дякую велике, що ви допомагаєте, що ви завжди на пульсі.
Well, hello everyone. I'm joined by Jackie and Walter from 3rd Assault Brigade C2 unit, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically the command and control instructors.
Good to see you again, mate.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. So, people might remember we met Jackie last summer. If you can update everyone, I guess, as quickly as possible, because there's a lot's happened, with what's happened since we met you last and what you've been getting involved in recently.
Yeah, sure. So for me, last year I was with the 135th Territorial Defense.
That was it.
They're actually they're actually in Donbass right now, fighting in Crimea area. They're doing a pretty good job, and I'm really proud of them. We had actually 2 more Westerners join them for that deployment, and they're doing great. I got an offer to come to the 3rd Assault Brigade as an instructor. My focus now is night operations as well as sergeant's training, and that's been extremely good. I mean, 3rd Assault Brigade is definitely one of I would say the leader, as far as I know, because I haven't seen the entire Ukrainian army yet. Maybe I will one day, but all the units I know and all the units I've seen, 3rd Assault Brigade is the leader in moving towards Western leadership in the military. So our guys are fighting on the ground. They're pushing command up. It's not commands being pushed down. That's so much.
Is that because it's recruited good people, or they have the right freedom to do things in the right way?
So the guys we have are definitely Special Forces quality from the get-go, because so that's a huge part of it for sure. But that doesn't mean anything if leadership at the unit doesn't recognize how good these guys are, and they do recognize that. And so we're able to, from the top and from the bottom, come together and have this great system that we have here in 3rd Assault.
Is it still a growing brigade? So are you constantly training new people? Like how does it work for you guys in C2?
Basically, I mean, to kind of answer your question from what I can say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, is like, as opposed to a lot of other units, we have really good support ratios, let's say. So we're, let's say, five support guys to one fighter, let's say, right? And so our fighters have really good support, and so they're gonna be sustainable, right? Even when we have a tough battle, our fighters our fighting units are sustainable. We're never gonna go to like be defeated. It's impossible for us at this point, right? So we have a good training pipeline. We have multiple instructor groups. And we have some capitalism going on where we compete against each other. We try to see who comes up with the best solutions, and those instructor groups get more students, and it's really interesting.
So there's sort of inter-competition within who's doing the best, but do you also learn from each other's best practices? Is it quite well organised?
Absolutely, and so we're really unified by that national idea, the Ukrainian national idea. The 3rd Assault Brigade wants Ukraine to be a very strong nation. And that ideology supersedes any sort of, we just want to win the war or whatever the short-term goals are, right? Everyone at that unit, because they're at that unit, believes in a strong future for Ukraine, not only during the war, but after the war, right? And into history in the future. So with that being said, when we're competing against each other, when we're saying that stuff, it's not malicious at all. No. We're competing against each other so that we can move the organization into something really great.
And we've seen the retreat out of Avdiivka recently and the involvement of 3rd Assault Brigade. I mean, it seemed like they were fairly critical to saving as many Ukrainians and holding that as possible. Well, is there anything you can tell anyone about that?
We want to keep some fog of war from the enemy, right? We don't want to let them know everything that's going on. I'll say this, 3rd Assault Brigade was in Avdiivka long before the press knew we were in Avdiivka. I won't say when. But we were working and we were doing our stuff for a while, and we were holding Avdiivka. Things were going really well for us. Unfortunately, around the time that Avdiivka was able to be taken, we sort of lost the ability to engage that mid-level artillery, especially the 155 rounds started drying up. So because we lost that capability eventually, the Russians were able to take advantage of small culminations, which turns into large culminations. And by the time the press hit that we were in Avdiivka and we were doing our stuff, it was basically time to go.
So it's first-hand example, right, of how a lack of 155 shells is preventing you from properly suppressing the Russians, and eventually they've got the volume to take positions.
Yeah. It's like a river. You know? It's just there's enough streams come together, and now you have a lake, and now Avdiivka is gone. Well,
hopefully we're starting to see some of that support changing in Europe, but more shells can't come quickly enough, right?
No. As far as the bigger fight, I'm a night ops instructor, so I don't want to get too out of my wheelhouse. I'm just going to say I hope that we can figure this out. I see the economists saying that there's really no excuse for the shell shortage right now, and we just need to have the willpower to get it done. So that's my understanding of it.
Yeah, that's good. And Walter, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because we've not met you before. Like when did you come to Ukraine and what brought you here?
I was born in Ukraine, sir.
Ah! Well, I was wondering with the American.
No. It's just you might see a lot of our guys actually wear American flag because we really appreciate the help we're getting from America.
Yeah,
and like especially if we see interviews with soldiers 3rd Assault. But actually, I'm from here. I was born here in Kyiv.
You've got a great accent though as well. You see.
Thank you. I'm actually Jackie's interpreter in our job.
Right.
Yes. Actually, much more work I have to do, but including interpreting, because we're having instructors like Jackie come and help us to give a new perspective on our things, on our training in general, and this is why we need more interpreters. Because and like I work with multiple people at this point, but Jackie is at this point he's one of those guys who run for a long time with the brigade. I mean, relatively to other guys, and go and ask questions.
I mean, interestingly, having a good interpreter when you don't speak the language of the soldiers you're training is critical, right?
So we just did we just had a Czech instructor group come and teach us on some machine gun work yesterday, and Walter's presence basically made their instruction a lot better than they're used to. Yeah, and I'm not sure if they realized that they were like, this is the best training we've ever freaking done in Ukraine, you know, all this stuff. It's like, I'm not sure if it was about like us or you guys. I think it was about Walter.
Yeah.
No, no, I cannot take credit for that. But well, what can I say? Yeah, we have people who can understand English. And like plenty of those people, actually Ukrainians are pretty good at this, but still majority of guys need some, especially if we're talking about some specialized technical language, military language. People are, well, they don't teach that in schools or universities, actually anywhere, I don't know. So yeah, this is how I had to learn that, like basically just doing practice with Jackie, with other instructors, and now I can pass that to other our guys who also doing our training just on the go, basically. During it's like it's not a formal lesson you can just go and learn. You do it on the go. But actually, in my civilian life, because I joined the military as soon as war started, I wasn't an interpreter. Never worked as an interpreter. That's like funny. During this 2-year war, I actually changed multiple positions, multiple occupations. I was working initially at brigade target acquisition, artillery reconnaissance groups, and then our boss he suggested for me to join and do the interpreting, because well, I knew language before. I was actually getting my master's degree during when the war broke out. I was actually finishing it and getting diploma while being at war, like just with my laptop and stuff. So yeah. That's how it played out.
Did you? So you were still studying whilst being in the army in the full-scale invasion?
What?
You were still studying for your masters?
Yes. I was basically. So it's like the war broke out, and they actually didn't want any university students in the military. I had to argue with my recruitment office to get me in, and like it took a while to do that. And then my university was kind enough to let me finish my master's degree. While I was in the military, wasn't even around. I never visited the university itself, like physically. I was just doing the distance studying, like during the COVID, and that's how it played out.
Amazing.
It is amazing, and I'll just say for Walter, we've talked about a lot of interpreting, but that's not his main job. That's a side gig he does. Yeah. So right now he's working on the simulated battle, where we have computer command and control systems integrated with people who are actually doing a training exercise live, right? And they're able to watch them on the drone. The computer simulations, like doing all this stuff, and then the guys in the C2 can radio and call for assets. And so we're really working on much bigger things than a lot of people think that we're doing. We don't want to advertise it too much, you know what I mean? But Walter is just Walter. You know, you're one of the kind of quality of people that we have. Normally, nobody thinks, and nobody in Third Storm thinks that we're all that cool. We're all surrounded by these cool people who, you know, 18 hours a day, right? We're up, and you might be interpreting, or you might be working on your simulation, or you might be advising on artillery, and it's just whatever is the need for that moment, we're gonna go get it done, and that's how everybody is there.
Yeah. We're usually enjoying that kind of job. You know, it's not like a regular like 8 to 5, just go do some guard duty. No, it's basically multiple direction like activities that you have to engage day to day, and that leads to unique challenges you gotta overcome, and that's what makes this job interesting.
We've got you the truck today, right? This guy here, NOEL Reports, he did a big fundraiser, and I think we got 3 for 3rd Assault Brigade and a big pile of FPV drones that we sent already to the front. These things are pretty important as well, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, you're training people in night combat operations, but they also need to protect themselves from the skies so much these days. Are you seeing that a lot as well with your guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So well, countrywide right now, there's a arms race between drones and electronic warfare. Yeah. And so, you know, basically, you know, spear and shield, right? This is the shield. If you don't have a shield, you're gonna get killed by that spear, right? So this is becoming a requirement for anyone doing any kind of work these days.
And we're starting to see them going thermal and night vision as well on FPV drones now. So are you having to deal with that as part of your teaching, I'm assuming, right? Because it's now you might have all sorts of threats at any point.
It's really annoying, but that's the nature of our war, which is that the class we give in August is not the same class that we're going to give in November. It's different because both sides are racing to try to get capabilities to this battlefield.
Yeah.
The lessons are being changed constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jackie, pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, I want to say thank you so much to NOEL Reports. I need to check out your stuff, so I'll talk to the NAFO guys after it. And like, this is huge for us guys. This is really big. Our car was broke before, so this is going to enable us to get around.
Well, we got the all-important 69 Sniffing Brigade patch to present you both as well. So I will give you this, Jackie. Where's the best arm to put?
Yeah. Place it.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And
we've got some stuff for you as well.
oh, do you? Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you. And also, thank you very much. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So let me get you some stuff.
Well, okay.
We've got
What have we got?
empty Americano.
Perfect. Yeah, I definitely need one of them.
We've got our 2024 calendar.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, man.
That's one for the ladies, I think. There was some. Yeah. Oh, good to see the British flag there.
That's a new Pirelli calendar.
It is, isn't it? It is.
So if anybody needs some good smells in their car, they can smell like a Ukrainian nationalist.
Love that.
And you asked us for some flags, so we got you these flags, but that's not the only flags we got you.
Oh. Wow.
So we've got you 2 of these guys.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is from our recent merch thing. These are. It's tough for us to get the funds for buying all this merch.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we really thank NAFO for all the work you've done, not just for our unit, but for several 3rd Assault units. Not one time, several times. You guys have been there for us. And we really appreciate you. A lot of our units, a lot of our drone units, sniper units. We really appreciate NAFO, and not just what you do for us personally, but what you guys do for the messaging and countering Russian propaganda. It's so important, man. The truth needs to be out there, dude. And then so we've got 2 of these for you, and we'll make sure these get signed. We'll probably rope in some other 3rd Storm guys.
Yeah.
And we'll sign these for you.
Amazing. Thank you. Nice one.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you know how hard it is.
Good afternoon. We are soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. My name is Collector, and this is Combo.
Nice to meet you both. Could they start just by telling everyone a little bit about what their unit does in the war?
Our brigade is the most legendary one, in case anyone doesn't know, the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. We are currently in the Avdiivka sector. I spent about 10 hours traveling today. I left from Donetsk region, from Pokrovsk. I drove all night to get this car, which is very important to us. Because all our cars that we had, unfortunately, are broken, all of them, even the ones that were armored. Soldiers need to be delivered to their positions. Those who are wounded need to be taken out. So the vehicles are very much needed. We also need jammers very much, because the enemy is using flying drones in large numbers. So we need to prevent the drones from reaching us. We need to land these birds, for the sake of the lives and health of our fighters. So we are going to use the jammers. It is a very valuable gift.
Like, could they tell us, a little bit, how will they use the jamming devices?
We have a reconnaissance platoon that works directly on Mavic. The guys also fly FPV drones. So this is more their part of the job, how they will use them. My duty is to deliver the equipment to the guys and provide them with everything they need. We have people in the brigade who are professionally engaged in this. So I can't tell you for sure how they will use the electronic warfare on the ground.
These here, these are things from their unit that they brought along.
This is a gift from a destroyed enemy who was hiding in the shelter, roughly at the positions near Avdiivka. It's a small souvenir, but it's a good one. These are also gifts that we received from Europe. We are running out of them. We would like to say that we are running out of ammunition. so we need to replenish our stocks. This is very important. This is gunpowder and shells. Everything is very important. So the more, the better. That's how we will win. 155th.
More 155 shells. Yeah? Yeah. And this is a grenade launcher, right?
RDS, 40th caliber, can be used in long-range combat. It's a very good thing. It is also suitable for close combat. It's very cool. As many as possible. By the way, we've run out of them. Our team doesn't have any.
Yeah, you see, so you can start to understand the importance, right? Bringing trucks is good, but if you don't have this and this, you can't fight a war. So the quicker we can get ammunition, the better these boys can do their job. Can I ask them, like, what were they doing before the full-scale invasion?
Before the war, I worked for a logistics company and lived in England. I arrived in Ukraine on February 26th, after 2 days of the full-scale Russian invasion. I joined the ranks of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade and have been serving until now. I have been at the Bakhmut direction and gone through everything else. Wherever the brigade is stationed, we are there. I have been to all the hot spots along the contact line. I have been involved in sports all my life. I really liked this type of activity. So I was studying. I was going to enter the Institute of Physical Education. But on February 24th, Russia attacked Ukraine. And I decided to take up arms and went to defend my homeland. And by the way, this man is my commander. He pulled me off the battlefield when I was wounded. I was seriously wounded, and he pulled me off the battlefield on his back under fire.
Wow, so they got a real brotherhood then, these two together. Unbelievable. And where in the UK were you living?
In the UK, in London.
London? Oh yeah. I'm going to give them the Sniffing Brigade patch. It's not a shell, but at least it's something. Thank you.
Unfortunately, they can't give you patches.
Oh no.
The brigade, they receive patches only in the fight.
They do. So this is an important thing. You don't get your first patch until you go on your first combat mission. That's right, isn't it?
Дякуємо NOEL Reports та його підписчикам, що допомогли зібрати збір на цей автомобіль.
You can start just by introducing who you are and his unit.
My name is Serhiy. I serve in the 5th Slobozhansk Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine. Currently, my unit is located in the Bakhmut direction, near the village of Klishchiivka, Donetsk region.
And we've met Serhiy before as well, so it's good to see you again.
In return,
can you give us a bit of an update on how it is around your area at the moment?
The situation is tense. The enemy is pushing hard, sparing no infantry, and organizing meaty assaults. They are trying to attack our positions. Our guys are standing, not retreating a single step back. Russian troops are trying to take control of the village of Klishchiivka, but they will not succeed.
And we've given NAFO trucks to his unit before. Like, has he got any stories he can tell us about what happened to the trucks?
For example, I will tell you a story about one of the cars we received from the NAFO community. One day, Russian troops launched a full-scale offensive at about 5 a.m. They attacked our positions with all the weapons they had: artillery, heavy machinery, and aircraft. That day, we suffered losses in equipment. And unfortunately, there were many wounded. That is why we are very grateful to the NAFO community and the 69th Sniffing Brigade. The vehicle that you gave us just about 2 weeks before the full-scale offensive of Russian troops near the town of Kreminna. So this vehicle saved about 30 soldiers of our brigade.
Do you hear that? So that's good, right? So one truck, 30 lives saved in one mission, right? That gives you an idea of how important these things can be. And you've got a transporter this time. Like, how are they going to use this new truck?
Literally today or tomorrow, this new vehicle will go to Klishchiivka to help our guys, to help transport the ammo, to take personnel to their missions. And of course, the vehicle will help evacuate personnel from their positions.
Brought some presents along here, it looks like. Like who did Whose was this before?
This is the uniform of good Russian. Once we were tasked with storming enemy positions. We managed to do it. We captured 2 enemy positions. And in the process, we captured some trophies in terms of uniforms, weapons, and so on. There is a uniform they didn't even have time to wear, so it is still with tags. It is completely new. It just arrived and we captured it right away.
So you got the truck, we got the jammers. I'm assuming these are super important as well for his guys in the positions they're at.
Yes, jammers are very much needed where we are now in order to somehow muffle everything that is flying around. There's a very great need for jammers.
Who drove the truck over in this one? Did you? Oh, right, well look. Would you like to present Serhii with his patch? There we go, this is Maria, Serhii. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Хочемо виразити свою вдячність фінським мисливцям за допомогу у придбанні цього шикарного автомобіля. Даний автомобіль буде приближати нашу спільну перемогу, то допомагати нашим хлопцям в підвозі боєкомплекту та особового складу на позиції. Слава Україні!
Doc, I am a doctor. I am 26 years old. I serve in the National Guard of Ukraine, 15th Brigade, Kara-Dag Offensive Guard, call sign.
Doc, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So Doc, you are a medic. Can you tell us a little bit about your work in your unit?
Doc, I am a doctor. The essence of my job is to provide my subordinates with transportation, medicines, and anything else they need. My duties also include providing emergency assistance in various combat situations that you can only imagine.
Was he a medic or a doctor before the full-scale invasion?
Yes, I'm a doctor. I got a medical degree, but at the same time I also studied at the military department. So, that makes me a military doctor.
Let's talk a bit about the truck, right? And can he explain the importance of having a CASEVAC vehicle like this?
The problem we are facing now in our conditions is that it is very, very difficult to get the wounded guys out of their positions. We can't do it with the equipment we have at our disposal and are used to using. Because now we need to be able to get around promptly. And we need to be efficient, meaning we need to be fast. Your pickup truck can be used both off-road and on highways. And then there's reliability, because cars break down very quickly, get out of order, and get damaged from shelling. Our team needs to constantly update the equipment to ensure the fastest possible response to the situations in which we are currently working. It is also very convenient to provide emergency medical assistance on the spot in vehicles like this one, for example. That is, a person is not just put in a car and driven to a certain place, but they can pick up the wounded person and provide him or her with assistance on the way.
Should we tell him, let's go around the back and have a look in the truck? So you can explain, the pickup truck's been modified to have sort of stretcher, space for key medical equipment, different lighting systems. We have lots and lots of tourniquets, Israeli bandages, etc. Right? Is this the type of CASEVAC vehicle and build that he needs in his unit?
This is exactly the type of car that is very much needed and fully equipped for our area.
How many would he need? You know, this is one here, right? Like, if he could have as much as he needed, how many more of these would he need?
You know, it's hard to answer this question because, as I said, like, cars need to be constantly updated. If there were a dozen, I would be very happy.
1,000? Wow. But literally as many as possible, almost, right. So I'd like to introduce as well Gigi here to him. Gigi is from America and she fundraised this truck and has helped fundraise a number of them, and she'd also like to say hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Vadim.
Nice to meet you.
Would you like to ask him some questions?
Yes, I'd love to. I'm curious, what is the most dangerous or difficult part of a medical evacuation?
Wait, the person you were informed about, that is, about the wounded, and you sit and wait. This is the most emotionally difficult thing. Then when you receive a wounded person, you just take care of him or her. Then everything goes by itself. You don't think about the danger anymore. You are already all in the work.
And how close will he get to the front line?
It's 2 kilometers. My paramedic, a person who specializes more in providing first aid, he went to rescue, and it was 300 meters away from the enemy.
And how much time does the soldier usually have between when you pick them up and between you picking them up and getting them to the stabilization point?
It depends on the mass, that is, on many circumstances on the battlefield. Often the journey from the moment I pick up a wounded person, for example, and deliver him to the nearest stabilization point, can take about 30 minutes. That is if everything goes well.
And how many lives will this save approximately, this trek?
In fact, it is very difficult to calculate the number. It is a very difficult task. I can say for sure that the car will save many lives.
I guess one more question, just for you personally. How do you maintain composure in the midst of incredible chaos? You've got someone who could be dying in the back of your truck. How do you maintain composure?
I love to read. It's my psychological technique that helps me to deal with what I see on the war, with the deaths around me, with all the horrors that are happening on the front, with what I see in the war, with the deaths around me, with all the horrors that are happening at the front. This is how I get distracted. Unfortunately, this is all that helps me, the support of my family, not dwelling on the situation, getting out of this vicious circle, and just doing my job to help others, to save their lives, to do what I know how to do.
So if you can explain to Dr. Vadim that on behalf of the Sniffing Brigade, I'd like to present you with the patch along with the Kasivat vehicle and all the medical supplies. Go ahead and save as many lives as possible. Gigi, give him the patch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Висловлюю величезну подяку Марку і Джиджі за цей автомобіль, за цей медевак, який нам дуже допоможе та буде виручати у складних ситуаціях. Та я впевнений, що врятує не одне життя, і навіть не 2, а набагато більше. Дякую.
Hello, so I'm joined by the 37th Marine Brigade. If they could just start by introducing themselves and what they do.
Good afternoon. My name is Yaroslav, call sign Yarik, a Marine with the 37th Brigade, an artilleryman. My name is Anya. I am a volunteer here in Ukraine.
What does his unit do? Like, they're using artillery, you say, yeah? So are they using like Western artillery or Ukrainian, like D-30? Tell us a bit about it.
This is our Ukrainian Carnation 2, C1 caliber, 122.
You know, we've heard a lot about shortage of ammunition. You know, with that weapon, are they still able to fire it as much as they were last year?
Not with the same intensity as last year, no. There is a lack of ammunition, especially 122 caliber. But we get to work even with the Russian ones, the ones that were trophied, so to speak.
Yeah, okay. Like, so they'll take out a Russian position and then try and like capture their ammo and use it and fire it back at them. Is that right?
Tak.
Oh, very good. And how will they use the truck here?
Yes, we will use cars to bring ammunition to the positions. Because it's almost impossible to drive the cannon itself. To get ammunition is almost impossible. We will also take out our wounded, so the car will work as an evacuation vehicle.
So you can see the Belgian flag on your truck as well, right? Renaud here, that I will introduce you to, is one of our major fundraisers. He, along with Florence here, also from Belgium, helped fundraise this truck. And you've got a lot of other things as well, right? Like Renaud and Florence, you've brought all of this along. I mean, like, Renaud, what have we got here? Like, what is this? What have we bought?
Oh, Belgium is well known for the chocolate.
Delicacies.
Yeah.
But I already brought so much chocolate. Now it's also Belgian waffles, and Valerie is the name of my wife. And Belgium is known for the beer. The beer is a well-known one.
Thank you. We have also prepared small gifts for you. I would like to present them to you now.
Oh.
Oh, nice for you.
Oh!
This is Renaud, the Marine Corps.
Wow!
Oh,
These chevrons are for you.
No. What's that?
oh, I look so young.
Look at that!
50 years ago.
You are also a Marine.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And we also want to give you the flag of our combat brigade.
Oh, look at that!
It's not serious. It's not serious.
Також Флоренція.
Also Florence.
Oh. No, have you got one? No, look! Wow!
This is for you.
Have you got your own patches?
Show, but,
Amazing.
my master.
Oh.
Welcome to the Marines.
Gillian, take a look.
Wow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, I mean, what more can be said about? Look at that! Like, look, look at that! How good is that?
Oh, it's supposed to be.
Wow. Yeah. So I think that's probably the most amazing handover present. So, if you can, you need to present them on behalf of the Sniffing Brigade. So, Florence, you one. So.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Please. It's an honor for me that you accept that.
Thank you.
And good luck with the truck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Amazing, man. So hello everyone, I'm here with the 5th Brigade Medical Unit to hand over another amazing NAFO ambulance. If she could just start by just explaining who she is and what her job is.
My name is Christina. I am a paramedic with the 5th Assault Brigade, the medical company of the 5th Assault Brigade. We are working at a stabilization point in the Bakhmut direction. We provide first aid to the wounded in this sector.
So this is not just a CASIVAT vehicle, this is an actual ambulance. Could you explain a bit about the importance of having a vehicle of this quality in her unit?
We work not only as a stabilization center, we also have an evacuation unit. It is extremely important for us to deliver the wounded quickly and safely from the stabilization center to the hospital. There is always an air hazard, so it is important for us that it is both safe and fast. Paramedics, doctors, and anesthesiologists work in the evacuation department, and they need intensive care vehicles for fast, safe transportation.
So there'll be a soldier will get rescued from front line to stabilization point, get stabilized, and then at that point they'll transfer to like the ambulance and be taken back to a hospital. Is that the process?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, amazing. And I mean, can she give an idea of how often it will be working? Is it 24/7? It's just going to be going round and round and round constantly?
We have been working around the clock, 7 days a week, for 3 years now in this area. Our stabilization center receives the wounded 24/7. The evacuation department operates around the clock, and the medical department is open around the clock to treat the wounded, the somatic, wounded, shell-shocked. There are different extents of injuries.
What we'll do in a minute is we'll just go and have a look in the ambulance, but I'd also just like to introduce Alo as well. He's a medical professional and helps us with a lot of these trucks.
Okay, it's a third car from us, and We put this stuff that most important, and I hope that this is all the stuff for stop cleaning, for stabilization transport, for monitoring for transport time. I hope that it's all that you need for safety transport. Yeah.
Yes, we have already had the opportunity to examine it a little bit, and it is true.
Let's have a look now as well, Christina, quickly.
Okay. Let's look.
So, I mean, wow. Alo, come here. Can you just explain what have you got in this truck?
Lots of stuff. For first 100 tourniquets, lots of stop bleeding bandages.
Yeah.
Kellogg's bandages for hemorrhage stopping.
Okay.
This is one part, but other parts are for stabilization. We have how to fix traumas. We have lots of splints difference. We are ambu for oxygen,
yeah.
and we have all for monitoring.
Yeah.
We have for defibrillation, for cleaning, for oxygen, but most important, we have HEG for cardiograms.
Wow.
To check, and
wow.
For stabilization transport is most important vacuum splint. We put full body for vacuum and fix full body for transport.
Can we check? Right. So you've got over 100 tourniquets, other life-saving equipment combat medics use, but a full vacuum splint, you call this?
Yes.
When the wounded have injuries, for example, to the base of the skull, they cannot be moved. There is a device that fixes the wounded person in a vacuum, and it does not move, so we inflate the device, and the wounded are transported safely. Very cool devices.
Yes, it's most important to fix full body, and
Yeah.
then you can
So
transport
to hold the body.
Yes, hold the
Yeah.
Tourniquets, you can never have too many of them. Israeli bandages, which are also never enough. Silaxes, splints. And in general, equipment that helps with intensive care and fixing the patient's stable condition who we transport.
Alo, you can present the patch. You also, as well as all of this,
but very okay.
We'll hand it.
When I am in uniform, I will definitely wear it.
Okay. So not only do you get the ambulance, you also get the Sniffing Brigade patch.
Okay.
Дякую.
You use.
Дякую.
Good luck, Christina, with the rest of the year, and I hope the ambulance saves many lives.
Thank you. It will be.
Велика подяка місячним підписникам 69-ї Sniffing бригади. Ми будемо застосовувати машину на Бахмутському напрямку для швидкого та безпечного перевезення евакуації поранених від стабілізаційного пункту до госпіталя. Подяка. Щира подяка.
І сподіваємося, що вона врятує багато життів.
So hello everyone, we're back with our good friend Ruslan from Kraken. Ruslan, good to see you. If we can start, just Ruslan can explain, how the Kraken guys have been getting on.
Our division works in the most responsible and difficult areas. I will say that the unit is very well prepared. That is why we are given challenging tasks. We try to complete them all.
Yeah, they always send Kraken to do the fun jobs, or the really hard jobs. It's another truck for the unit, and like Ruslan was just showing us a video of a couple of the NAFO trucks that recently got destroyed. Can he give everyone a feeling for how important more trucks and equipment are right now for his unit?
This will be the 8th car handed over by the NAFO community. All of our cars work and perform their tasks. But recently, 2 cars were severely damaged on a mission. One was completely destroyed, and the other almost as well, because a cab-guided missile flew nearby. So we are now without 2 vehicles. Our unit is very grateful for the quick help, for closing the request for a car so quickly. Therefore, we are very thankful to the NAFO community for this opportunity. I would like to add one more thing. We have already donated the Kraken flag, but since you always help us as volunteers, we are giving you the Kraken volunteer flag and patches as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We can't protect against a missile, right, that destroyed the other truck, but can he explain how important these are for his unit?
Yes, the jammers are important because the enemy also uses FPV drones. And we are constantly looking for frequencies that they can't operate at. These are good jammers that do the job perfectly. And it helps to preserve equipment, devices, and personnel.
And is he managing to get clean frequencies where they can't be jammed?
Да.
Well, we've got the Sniffing Brigade patch for him as well. I think he might have had one before,
super.
but we will present it.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Хочемо подякувати місячним підписчикам 69-ї Sniffing бригади за надану допомогу, за донати. Цей автомобіль допоможе нам виконувати завдання. Тому, як то кажуть, разом і до перемоги. Слава Україні!
So if they can start just by introducing their unit and who they are.
My name is Yanis. His name is Luka. We are from Revanche tactical group. There is a special forces battalion. Our speciality mostly is anti-diversional, anti-sabotage works, sabotage works on the front line and like under the front line, behind enemy territory.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about the history of the unit then?
Okay, our unit was formed on the beginning, on the first days of the full conflict, because you know that we have 10 years of the big war. There is a mostly big war than the Second World War, for example. This conflict, like there is a lot of rockets, a lot of bombs, a lot of avia bombs. Maybe it's if we can speak about it, it's like maybe Stalingrad on the before, yes, like assault of Berlin, for example, or Verdun on the First World War. Now, if we speak about our history, our tactical group was start on the first day of the war. We start to defend Kyiv city. It's the first mission, first operation. It's about defending Kyiv city because if we speak about the first days, the Kyiv was besieged of Russian forces. And then our organization, our tactical group was started like some group who defeat our capital against the Russian horde.
And as a tactical group, you work with combined weapons, right? So you use all types of equipment.
Yes, there is a lot types of equipment. For example, some Western, some Soviet, of course, because it's like mix of everything styles, every style, every types of weapons. There is a lot of types for a lot of duties. Some special duties need to use, for example, Soviet weapon. Some duty for some mission need more modern, more Western. Yes, so it's like mix.
I'm going to ask this question, see if you answer. Right, so you described that you can do fighting across the front line and behind. Right, can you give us an example of of a mission for some people here?
We can't speak specially about some kind of mission because it's war secret. Maybe we meet after the war and we speak about it.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's
a good idea.
Yes.
It's worth asking, right?
Yes, because we must meet and sit after the war, after our victory. It's very important for us, and your help is very important because, for example, Estonia and Baltic countries is our strong allies, and every time we understand your help, we understand that you are like small countries on the map of the world, and we understand that it's very hard to help because you must understand that you need to defend on a lot of cases of, politicians, diplomacy. There is a problem.
So, how will you guys use the truck that we bought here?
Every time we need a mobility.
Yeah.
It's the first rule of our kind of works, mobility. Because we must work behind the line, on the line.
So the truck might be going behind the line? Or it'll be delivering people on their missions, for example,
yes.
yeah? And what have you brought along here? Can you explain to people what we've got here, for example?
There is a Carl Gustav. So there is a Carl Gustav, some details for Carl Gustav.
Okay.
It's the
Carl Gustav, yeah.
There is some gifts for you.
Okay.
Okay. It's empty, no problem, doesn't matter. There is some patterns, some data from grenade.
Yeah.
From MK90.
Yeah, so that's
grenade.
the charge. Okay. Oh right, yeah, from
MK.
grenade launcher. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
empty. All is good. Yes, from machine gun, but it's empty, without everything. All is good. Yes. Yes,
And
you are safe. Yes, on safe. There's no problem. That is gifts.
And what's this that you've been given here as well? So can you just explain what this is? I drove this truck actually and did the campaign for it. So like this has got the British flag on it. But we're also going to give you the Sniffing Brigade patch, which is equally important. So maybe I can fit this on your arm there. Thank you very much and good luck with your missions.
Thank you very much.
And also,
And to my friends.
thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, and the flag. Thank you all the subscribers of the DefMon for the help with the car, because every time of our works we need a lot of cars. Why? Because it's very important for our special missions, for the delivery of people, delivery of something interest to the heads of the enemies. So thank you very much for your help and your support.
If they can start just by introducing who they are and their unit.
Good afternoon. My call sign is Sonductor. My partner's call sign is Troll. We serve in the Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Company of the 129th Brigade, formerly the TRO. Now it's a separate mechanized brigade. We are called the Luftwaffe. We fly by large wings, mostly Leleka 100S, conduct deep reconnaissance, and adjust the means of strikes on the enemy.
They got big drones. Can they give us an example of a mission and what the actual impact of it was?
What we can share about the latest occurrences is that during aerial reconnaissance, a Tor surface-to-air missile system was detected, and fire was adjusted with the help of HIMARS. We hit this SAM, and literally on the very next flight, on the same day, it was discovered that the Tor was destroyed. Another story is about a T-80 tank towing a self-propelled peon gun, and we attacked again. The tank was destroyed and the gun was damaged. In fact, in 2 sorties, we reached the 3 fat targets. Even though there was a tough counterfight, the enemy constantly resists, does not want us to kill him.
And so they're using a combination of IRSAR and attack drones then, right? Am I right in saying? Right. reconnaissance.
Our main task is to make adjustments. Discharges is a separate division in our company. We are engaged in reconnaissance and adjustment of artillery and other means of our missile forces.
And this truck, like, how will they use this?
These cars will be slightly modified. We will make a so-called UAV control center out of the car. It will have 2 monitors, 2 laptops, 4 armchairs, and the Lelika's UAV crew will be able to work in the car, in the fields and landings and so on.
Yeah, so you'll have it as a place where the pilot can sit, there'll be screens, and I assume you'll have radios as well?
The radio communication with the aircraft is carried out with an external antenna, and communication with colleagues takes place by other means, not by radio.
No way. They still have a threat from Russian drones as well, I imagine, so a jammer is important to you guys?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
And what about chocolate? Yeah.
Chocolate is good. We don't say no to sweets ever.
Were you in the army before the full-scale invasion, or is this...
Dimitro and I are musicians. I am the director of the student choir of the College of Music in Kryvyi Rih. Dimitro is a sound engineer and lesser of sound and lighting equipment. We also have a cover band together. We play music together.
A sound engineer? Yeah, I'm a sound guy as well, right? Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Like, yeah. Along with the truck, it's important as well. We've got the patches for the Sniffing Brigade, so I'll present them to you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Дякую. Oh, amazing. Yeah, very cool.
Дуже вдячний NOEL Reports та його підписникам за допомогу в придбанні автомобіля повнопривідного, який стане центром керування нашого безпілотного літака.
So I'm joined here by Ivan.
My name is Ivan,
If he could just start by explaining his unit and what they do.
a unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. 3rd Assault Brigade, Spartan. We are currently engaged in defense. Robotino direction. Thank you, NAFO community, for the vehicle. It will help us to deliver ammunition, evacuate the guys from the battlefield, and transport them. The vehicle will also help us perform other combat missions.
Has he always been a soldier, or what did he do if not before the war?
I was a truck driver before the war.
You should be good at getting the truck back down to Roboton then. Yeah. So you have the truck, you have the drone jammers, which I'm sure are important.
This is very important.
And Ivan, you got chocolate.
Thank you.
Yeah. I will also, on behalf of the Sniffing Brigade, with our patch.
Thank you.
Stefan drove the truck here from Estonia.
Thank you.
And I hope we have the chance to meet again
If he could just start by introducing himself and his unit.
My name is Volodymyr. I represent the 93rd Brigade, the 1st Motorized Infantry Battalion.
And for people that don't understand what that means, can he explain a little bit about what they do and how it works?
At the moment, the 93rd Brigade is holding the defense in the Bakhmut direction, guarding those borders. To be more specific, it is Yar Klishchiyivka, approximately that direction.
Probably one of the toughest positions right now along the front, right?
Probably this is the most difficult area on the front line. Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Kupiansk, one of the hardest for sure.
Yeah, and I guess as many of these trucks as possible is critical, right? because if the fighting's fierce, a lot of these get damaged. Can you give an idea of like, you know, how quickly they get through trucks?
Yes, the need for cars is exceedingly high. Sometimes happens that every day an enemy shell arrives and either damages or completely destroys the vehicles. It occurs that several cars can be destroyed in 1 week. That's why cars are always needed.
And that, I guess, because of that, I mean, things like the drone jammers are very useful for him to have with the car.
Yes, the jammers are also very necessary at this moment. Because Russians use a lot of FPV drones and quite often. It's very dangerous to travel without jammers now. This is a very necessary thing at the front.
Really, so it wouldn't even be worth driving this without this turned on. Delighted to give you the truck with the jammers. A big pile of chocolate.
Thank you.
And some noodles as well, you know, so something a bit spicy for him.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. And, of course, the Sniffing Brigade patch.
Thank you very much. That's nice. Thank you.
Висловлює велику вдячність Бронксвуду за предоставлений автомобіль, який буде виконувати бойові задачі на Бахмутському напрямку. Слава Україні!
Mission complete. Convoy 27 handover done. The largest yet, with 20 trucks, FPV drones, ambulances, all thanks to you, the fundraisers from around the world. You heard about how we use ambulances, the modern robot wars that's taking place, and the training of elite units. So thank you all again for helping us help Ukraine. Slava Ukraini, Heroyam Slava.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. Hello.